It's opening. We are opening slightly higher, about 0.15 up on the Nifty. The Nifty Bank also similarly about 0.15 higher. And mid and small cap indices will come up on your screen as well. The Sensex is up, all up, but small up. That's the way to put it. 2:1 right out of the gates, advances to decline ratio. But that'll tend to move around as we go through the first few minutes and then through the course of the day. Nifty heat map coming up on your screens. 50 points, 55 points, 24,681, more up than down, definitely. And you've got HDFC Life on one end and there's Infosys on the other end. But it's more up than down to begin the session. Small cap index is clearly, leading with a 0.5% gain. And the mid cap index is also doing better than large. So broader market's doing better to start this session. Surabhi.
Okay, Reliance is leading from the front. It finally comes out of the shadows. After the AGM, it had a rough day. But this morning, it's up about 1%. By the way, there's a Morgan Stanley call on Reliance. MS is quite optimistic. Their target is 1701. And they say that the anti-involution story and the AI story is going to redefine the destiny for Reliance going forward. So that's a stock in focus and doing very well this morning, helping the overall market. What else? HDFC Life, 1.5% up. Eternal is putting on some weight, 1.3% higher. Coal India, after those numbers came in, production numbers, 1% up. BEL has announced order wins of about 600 odd crores. That stock's higher by about 1% or so. SBI Life along with HDFC Life. So the life insurers are doing well today. Bajaj Finance is up. There's some buying on HUL and Tata Consumer and Titan. So those are some of the consumer names that are doing well. But really, it's a Reliance story, almost 1.5% up on the stock. In fact, we'll put up the details of that Morgan Stanley note for you in just a bit. On the flip side, Infosys is cooling off after yesterday's run-up. There are not too many stocks falling, actually. Axis Bank is down 0.5%. ICICI Bank is taking it easy. Overall, the Bank Nifty is showing a small, slip of red right now. And some auto stocks like Maruti are cooling off, even Tata Motors. So some auto names, M&M also. Auto is cooling off after the recent run-up. Banks are quiet. It's Reliance all the way. That's the large cap story. Nigel?
Well, that's right. I think the stocks actually that are making the big moves today are the sugar-related names. And the update that came yesterday is the government has allowed the production of ethanol from sugarcane juice, syrup, and all types of molasses without any restrictions on volumes. I think that's what's got the stocks excited. And, there's a big move that we're seeing across the board. Balrampur Chini, even smaller companies. If I look at Uttam Sugar, I look at Sri Renuka, that's up more than 10%. Shakti Sugars, whatever's left, it's up only 8.5% now. So all those sugar-related names, they are bucking the trend today. That's clearly the sector of the morning. We'll have to see how much of a financial impact will it have. Because as of now, it appears that it's more sentiment in nature, but we'll wait by for further clarity on that front. Cross, KROSS, that's up close to 7.5%. Massive move is what we're seeing out there. Ola is saying it's not yet done. Stock continues to move higher as well. That one's moving on very, very large volume. So big up move is what we're seeing on that particular name as well. Hindustan Zinc as well opened in the green. I think we should keep an eye out on that one. A good move is what we're seeing on that stock. So a decent start, up 40-50 points, right in that resistance zone of 24,650 to around 24,700. The Nifty Bank yet again doing a relative underperformance.
40 points on the Nifty, so 24,667 is where we are at right now. We've got, actually it's a lot of sugar as Nigel was pointing out. MobiKwik is the other one, which is up about 4% or so. Something like a Gokuldas bombed out, right? From 1,200 fell straight to 700, less than 700. 726, about 4% higher on Gokuldas. One of the big textile casualties on the back of course, the Trump tariffs and other stuff coming up as well as we begin the session. On the downside, actually, it's 3:1, advances to decline. Ixigo is the only one I can see which with a 3% cut and some volumes as well. Otherwise, stuff which is down small and not really backed by any significant volumes right now.
On sugar, I just wanted to add that this has happened after a while. The fact that sugar and molasses, all varieties of molasses will be allowed for the manufacturing of ethanol. Yeah. And this takes away some of the industry concerns of maybe too much production because we've had bumper monsoon now for 2 years in a row. So with the diversion being finally allowed, it perhaps alleviates some of those concerns, but we'll have more for you coming up later. Yeah. But literally the sector of the morning, even Triveni Engineering, Balrampur, Triveni, Praj, Sri Renuka, Everything. Dalmia Bharat, Bajaj Hindustan. If it's sugar, it's looking sweet today.
Well, that's right. And the other one that's moving along is Mobiwick. The stock is up close to around 5%. Keep in mind, the high that the stock hit earlier this year was around 700 rupees. So actually, the stock had come down to less than a third of what it was at its peak. Now it's moved up because there was an overhang with regard, to that fund, Abu Dhabi investment holding close to 2.1%. That's out of the way. The street was waiting by for that. If you look at it on valuation parameter, well, the stock trades at around 1 times EV upon sales. It has cash in the books, but they're burning cash as well. So the path to profitability is something that the street will track over the next few years. So a relative underperformer, block deal going out of the way, some of these new age themes back in focus and guiding for better times ahead. I think the street is taking note of that, and that's why the stock is up 5.5%. But we'll have to see how much is sustainable.
I remember, I think Nilesh of Envision has been a long-time fan. I think so. We've spoken to him on Editors Roundtable, and maybe, I don't know if he'll have a view, but we'll try and get that going for you. Just some more opinion on where this one goes. I mean, it's come off a long way, and sometimes these things, like for example, what we're seeing with Ola, right? Like a one-way 50-60% move, but very, very quickly.